The struggle between good and evil has been with us a long time, and it's not likely to be going away anytime soon. But I'd like to think that if we remember the past and some of the truly evil things we failed to stop, well, just maybe the good in us has a decent chance to survive.
Imagine Anne Frank, the young Jewish girl who perished in Hitler's Holocaust, and Emmett Till, a young black boy just about the same age as Anne, who was tortured and lynched in Money, Mississippi for whistling at a white woman, meeting in a place called Memory.
Would they have anything in common to share or have any lessons for us? What happens if we don't listen to their voices?
Are we doomed to simply repeat the past? What if we don't even remember them?
I was living in Chicago.
Bo, come here for a minute.
Summer of 1955.
We need to talk.
Talk about what, Mama?
I want to be sure you understand what I said about how to behave down south.
Mama, you already told me.
Bo, listen to me. The rules are different for colored people down south. Don't go fooling around and acting all playful around white folks. They won't understand. They'll think you're being disrespectful, acting uppity. If you see a white man coming down the street, look down. Don't look him in the eye.
What if he speaks to me?
You just say, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bo, this is serious. Don't you go playing around like that.
I was just kidding, Mama. I won't do anything like that. I'll be real polite, I promise.
Now, if you encounter a white woman, don't look at her. Don't say anything.
I know. Look down.
No, Bo. You don't just look down. You cross the street.
Okay, I got it.
I want to make sure you understand the rules.
Yes, Mama. Don't worry about me. I'll be a good boy.
Bo, I got something for you.
What?
I was saving this for your 21st birthday, but I want you to have it now. Bring you some good luck.
My father's ring? Can I wear it? Thank you, Mama. It's going to be my lucky charm. You wait and see, Mama. One day, I'm going to do something important. I'm going to make you real proud of me. You'll see. I'm going to be somebody.
You're already somebody.
I love you, Mama. Bye.
I love you too, Bo.
Have you looked outside?
I couldn't just let him go without telling him the truth about the way they treat colored people.
It's getting dark.
If anything were to happen to him, I'd never forgive myself.
I think it might rain again today. But tomorrow the sun is going to shine.
Papa, since when do you want to talk to me about the weather? It doesn't change anything in here. How much longer do we have to live like this, trapped in this box, and with all of these other people?
These other people are our friends, Anne.
We're living in a coffin.
Anne!
I can't stand it much longer. I need to go out, be with my friends, ride my bicycle, be free.
Anne, you know the rules. That's impossible. Not until the Nazis are defeated.
Always the rules. No laughing, no joking, no talking, no joy whatsoever. This is not living. I want to be a writer, Papa, a famous one. I want to write novels, poems, plays. I can't do all of that cramped up here. I need to be free.
One day, you will be free and you will touch the sky with your pen. Peoples world over will read you, but right now it's too dangerous for any of us to be seen or heard. I'll never let them harm you.
You promise?
I promise. And one day you'll see. All your dreams will come true.
Who are you?
You stay away from me.
How did you?
Go away.
No, I live here. You're the one who has to go. You scared me.
Oh, I see. I scared you because I'm colored.
Your color has nothing to do with it. I thought you were the Dutch police coming for me.
Do I look like a Dutchman to you?
No, no, you don't. But why are you so hostile? I don't even know you.
You don't have to know me. That's the problem.
What problem?
You're a white girl, and in Money, Mississippi, that means you can hurt me without saying a word. Just point a finger.
Who said anything about hurting you or Mississippi? We're in memory.
Is it heaven?
No, it's not heaven. It's just memory.
How do I get out?
The same way you got in.
I don't get it.
Cogito ergo sum.
What are you talking about?
A philosopher once said, I think, therefore I am.
So I don't think, and therefore I'm not.
No, what I meant was that we're all here together in the darkness and alone, at the same until we're pulled into the light, until we're remembered. Something happened to cause someone to think about you, to remember you, and therefore you are. You exist, as long as they keep thinking about you, remembering you.
What happens when they stop? Do I get out of here?
You'll disappear, just like chalk being erased from a blackboard.
How will I know when they'll let me leave?
The lights start to flicker, then dim, then darkness.
Do you want to stay here?
Yes, I want to stay here as long as possible. I want people to remember me forever.
I still don't understand why anyone would think of us here together. I mean, it's hard to imagine.
That's it. Someone must have imagined us together, that we were connected in some way.
Come on, you're a white girl, I'm a black boy. What do we have in common?
I don't know. Maybe someone felt we needed to talk about our lives. All I know is we probably don't have much time together. Memory fades. It doesn't last very long. So why don't we start over? My name's Anne Frank. And you are?
Emmett Till.
I was born in Germany. Rolling hills, fields of flowers. We had a lovely home there, filled with books and music.
Sounds like you had a pretty nice life.
Oh, yes, it was wonderful until Hitler and the Nazis came to power. They turned everyone against us.
Us? Why did the Nazis turn the German people against you?
Because we were Jewish.
What made the Nazis hate you?
Why are people always asking us to explain the hatred of others? Why don't you ask the Nazis?
I don't see any Nazis around.
You really don't know?
No.
They blamed us for everything. The economy, unemployment, social unrest. They even said we were the reason they lost the First World War.
Far as I know, no one in Chicago ever blamed the Jewish people for anything. To me, Jewish people were just white people. Being Jewish means something else?
No, I mean, well, yes. Our religion is different. We have a different history, culture, tradition. Our traditions are not better, just different. Whenever people start to think they're better or superior, that's when you get a Hitler. He believed the Iryans were superior, the master race.
Sounds real familiar. In America, white people thought they were superior too, especially those living down south. And they treated black folks, well, real bad.
I think Hitler hated us because of our success. We excelled in medicine, music, science, art, business, law, and because we were successful and didn't want or need to be like other Germans, they wanted to take everything we had, take all of us away.
If you couldn't change being Jewish, why didn't you just leave Germany?
We did. We tried to go to America, but President Roosevelt refused us.
Couldn't you go somewhere else?
There was a German ship had more than 900 Jewish passengers on board trying to immigrate to Cuba. The Cubans let just a few people get off the ship. The rest had no place to go. They believed the words on the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses who yearn to breathe free. They begged to land in America. They were turned away because there was a strict policy on admitting immigrants.
Where'd they go?
Back to Europe, where many ended up in what Hitler called his work camps. The Nazis said that the only way out was through those smokestacks.
An American president treated white people like that?
Yes, Emmett, it was shameful.
But you got out.
Yes, to Holland.
Were you safe there?
At first, but the Nazis kept invading country after country. They started imposing restrictions on us, confined us to ghettos.
Oh, I know something about ghettos.
We had to step off the sidewalks whenever Nazis approached.
Know something about that too.
They made us wear patches on our clothes with the yellow Star of David on them.
We didn't have to wear any patches. Skin color was enough.
Then, they imposed a curfew on us so we couldn't even be out on the streets at night.
There were lots of places we couldn't be out after dark either. Sundowner rules. Don't be caught in town after sundown, boy. Boy, you hear me? I said, do you hear me, boy?
You hear me, Kike?
Jigaboo,
Jaime?
spook,
Christ killer?
nigger.
Nick?
Stop. You can't say that.
I didn't mean any.
White folks came with all those words, but that one was the one that hurt the most. We used to be called Negroes, another word for black. Guess that sounded a little too respectable, but nigger? Well, it's like a thing, an animal, a monkey, which is pretty much how they thought of us. Nigger was the last name black people heard when they were being lynched.
Words have power. They create images, and images can hurt. The Nazis made horrible drawings of us, said we were subhuman. Then they started rounding us up, sending us to those camps on their trains. That's when we knew we had to hide. We had to move from our home in Holland into the attic of an office building. We hid there for 2 years in the secret annex.
For 2 years? What was that like?
It was horrible.
You couldn't go out at all?
No, not ever.
I never had to live cooped up like that.
Yeah. Being cooped up was better than being captured. We knew what they were doing to our people, taking them off to concentration camps in railroad cars, packed in like cattle. They would separate everyone. Mother from child, husband from wife, weak from strong, young from old. They tattooed their arms with numbers, stripped them of anything they had left. They pulled off all their wedding bands.
Even took the gold out of the teeth of the dead.
Took gold from their teeth?
There wasn't anything they wouldn't do. One of the first things they did was to cut off everyone's hair. Imagine cutting off the hair of the women and girls and using it as mattress stuffing.
My mama always said that a woman's hair was her crown and glory. They used it for...
Mattress stuffing. They claimed it was for health reasons. It wasn't health, it was humiliation. Then there were the experiments. Joseph Mengele put people in pressure chambers to measure their tolerance for pain, drew blood from twin children until they died.
I had no idea all that was going on. When I was growing up, I got to see all those movies and newsreels. I remember seeing the films of Jesse Owens kicking the Germans' butts during the '36 Olympics. People said Hitler was so mad he left the stadium.
We had Gretel Bergman, a high jumper. I swear she could jump over the moon. Hitler wouldn't let her compete just because she was Jewish.
Guess they both showed old Hitler something about his master race. Nazis packed and shipped you off in trains? White folks came to Africa, packed us in slave ships, and shipped us off to America. They separated us just like they did to you. And we got robbed too, of our names, family, language, freedom, everything. They sold us off on auction blocks like cattle. Sometimes they tattooed and branded us, but the color of our skin was enough. You talked about gold. My people were the gold, black gold. And just like the Nazis did to your people, white folks did to us. Set dogs on us, humiliated and dehumanized us, said we were only 3/5 human. Even deer and rabbits had more rights than we did. Down south, they'd say, we shoot rabbits, but we hang our our Negroes.
Hang you?
Yeah, for any reason, any season, in front of mobs dressed up in their Sunday best. They would even bring their kids to teach them early that that's the way to treat Negroes.
They wanted their children to see that?
They sure did. But just killing us wasn't enough for them. They set us on fire, cut up our fingers one by one, our ears, our knuckles, other body parts, took them as souvenirs, even put them in grocery store windows like pickles. All those church-going white folks used to take pictures of our hair and tape them onto pictures of the lynchings and mail them to their friends just to prove they were there. Experiments? For 40 years, our government used black men to test how diseases affected them when it went untreated.
I thought we were the only ones who had been treated like this. Why would they do this?
Different color skin.
Your skin, there has to be more to it than color. I still don't understand why whites hated you.
They didn't hate us in the beginning. They just wanted to use us. Make us do all the work for them for nothing. Later, they feared us. Saw how strong we were, so they had to hold us down.
So they could dominate you.
Exactly. Prevented us from learning to read or write, and then claimed we were just dumb when we couldn't read or write.
The Nazis feared us too, but since they couldn't dominate us, they wanted to destroy us.
Destroy you, dominate us.
They came for both of us. It wasn't about religion or color. It was
Fear.
fear.
If someone says they acted out of fear, they think that makes it more acceptable. They just don't want to admit it, but it's really all about hate.
Everyone loved our music,
Our free labor,
our art.
our music.
I always wondered, what would the world be like without us?
Frederick Douglass,
Albert Einstein,
W.E.B. Du Bois,
George and Ira Gershwin.
Ida B. Wells Barnett, Rosa Parks.
I can count hundreds.
It's really sick. America was built on our backs, but once we started to resist, demand equal rights, they said, if you Negroes don't like the way we do things around here, go back to Africa.
The Nazis felt the same way about us, Emmett, but they couldn't send us anywhere. We didn't have a place to go back then.
But now,
Now we have our own country, a place that's ours.
would I be safe there?
Why not in the land God promised us?
God? After all that's happened, you still believe in God?
Yes, it's important to have something to believe in. It doesn't matter what religion, Jewish, Christian, as long as you believe.
Did Hitler have a religion?
He was Catholic, but the only thing he practiced was Nazism.
But you still have faith.
People are born good. When I look into a baby's eyes, I see innocence. Yes, goodness.
What did you see in the eyes of the Nazis?
Hate. Evil.
If God is all perfect, how come he created something so imperfect? How could he allow such evil to?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether evil is just some dark force floating around in the universe, waiting to enter the human heart.
Evil needs us to live?
Maybe it's we who need evil so that we can know kindness, decency. I realize that through all our suffering, we came out stronger. It made us survivors. We held on to our faith, our tradition. That's how we survived over the centuries.
Our traditions were ripped away from us on those slave ships and auction blocks. You have no idea how slavery really messed with us, divided us from each other, and then against each other, field slaves against house slaves, light skin against dark skin. It's all so.
But things got better for you, didn't they?
I don't know. Everything is dark.
Since when?
Since it happened to me.
What happened? Tell me.
It's too hard.
You have to try.
I was living in Chicago. I went to visit my uncle and cousins in Mississippi. They were living and working there on a big plantation. My mama didn't want me to go.
Why not?
I wasn't used to all the rules down there.
Rules?
Nazis had rules for you. The white man had rules for us. Mama warned me.
What did you do?
I whistled.
That's it? You whistled?
When I whistled at her, she just pointed a finger at me. My cousins scattered. They knew we were in trouble. The next day, nothing happened, so we thought everything was okay. But a couple of nights later, some men came looking for me. Took me to an old barn, said they were going to teach me a lesson. Took an axe to me, gouged out one of my eyes, and blinded me in the other. My eyes started to feel like red hot coals have been poured into them. Everything's spinning around in my head. I can't breathe. The pain is so great, I think my whole body's on fire. Even though I'm scared and hurting, I didn't back down. I keep swinging my arms, trying to fight back. All the time, I know I'm dying. Things flashing around my mind. No more pranks, playing baseball, jumping in swimming holes. No more sweet hugs from mama. Finally, they tie a big cotton gin fan around me, shoot me in the head, and throw me in the Tallahatchie. The last thing I could hear was them laughing and my body splashing in the water. All I could think of was what would happen to my mama if she ever saw what they had done to me. I could bear the dying easier than the thought of her crying.
They found my son's body floating in the river a couple of days later. They were about to bury him in Mississippi. No notice, no ceremony, no witnesses. But I got a court order to have him brought back to me in Chicago. Nothing was going to stop me from seeing what they had done to my little boy. The odor coming from the casket was so powerful. You could smell it a block away. Bo was beaten so bad. The only way I could tell it was him was because he was wearing his father's silver ring. At the funeral, I make sure the casket is open, the lid up. I want the world to see what they had done to Bo, what they do to us.
Was anything done to those men for what they did to you?
Nothing. Nothing happened.
Those murderers got paid $4,000 for the interview they gave to Look magazine and laughed how they got away with what they did.
To me.
To my Bo.
In America, you can confess to murder and still go free? That's not justice.
Black men get justice in Mississippi? In America?
Emmett, maybe you should have listened to your mother and cousins if
I what?
I mean, you could still be alive today if
I live by the white man's rules?
but you knew your life was worth more than a whistle.
It wasn't about the damn whistle. It was about hate. They hated me just for being black. They were looking for any excuse to beat me, kill me.
But you knew what they would do if they caught you.
So I should have stayed silent. Your silence didn't save you.
Now you don't get it. It was different for us. You weren't there. You couldn't see what it was like.
But you judged me.
I wasn't judging you.
But you must have known what would have happened if...
Of course we knew. We weren't stupid. Yes, we were afraid, but we didn't just run out onto the streets, throw our hands up and surrender. Some had the chance to escape, to survive in the woods, but those of us in the city were trapped. I remember the day they came for us. Someone told them where we were hiding. We could hear shouting in the street, the sound of footsteps, then the tapping on the walls as they tried to find the hidden door to the annex. Everyone was afraid to breathe. I held my breath until I was sure I was turning blue. The thumping, the tapping, the tapping turned to thumping, the thumping to pounding, suddenly a loud bang, and they were in. The Dutch police. Mother nearly fainted. Margot went blank. Everything seemed to be suspended. A bad dream. I simply started to breathe again. The hiding was over. In a strange way, it was a relief. We had gone from being hidden to helpless to captured.
I asked myself 1,000 times, why didn't I try to leave Europe sooner? I heard the echo of goose steps onto cobblestones. We Jews have heard the sounds of hate coming so many times before. But I thought maybe this time was different, that there were places we could go. I knew that Hitler was a madman, that nothing straight could ever come from crooked wood. But who knew how much evil was carved in the twisted cross of the Nazis? Who knew?
It was all so surreal.
The summer heat cooled to autumn. The air became colder.
Winter was so bitter.
We were hungry all the time.
Margot grew weaker.
All of us were starving.
When Margot died, her body was dumped into a mass grave. I felt myself giving up. The only thing I had left was hope, and it was fading.
Everyone had typhus. So nauseous, a scratching, to pain, but I held on to hope.
I grew delirious, knew that I was dying, slipping away. The lights turned white, and suddenly I could see it was a sweet little bird I used to dream about. I wanted to set it free, to fly away with it into blue skies. Then, nothing.
God, where were you?
I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. That's why we vowed to never allow anyone to try to destroy us. Why we say, remember, never again. To remind people the world over what we had to endure. Now it's a crime in some parts of Europe to promote anti-Semitism or say that the Holocaust never happened.
Haters are prosecuted in Europe, but they're protected in America.
They can't be.
The Ku Klux Klan and skinheads can march down any main street praising Hitler and have a police escort in the process.
Not only can't the haters deny what they did to us, but companies that profited during the Holocaust have to pay restitution to the survivors and their families. Make reparations.
Reparations?
Absolutely.
Under the law, we get nothing. Not a dime. White folks say slavery happened too long ago. They don't know who they should pay or how much.
They're wrong, Emmett. Time can't erase a crime against humanity. It's never too late for justice.
You tell everybody to remember. Everybody tells us to forget. To stop playing the victim. To stop dragging the past around like it's some dead body in the cemetery. Bury it. It's history. Black history, not American history. We're always told to get over it. Just, what's the it they want us to get over? The Europeans are trying to make up for what one man, Hitler, did to you. But who do we blame for 300 years of hate? Washington? Jefferson, Johnson, Jackson. It was everyone and no one. Like the police used to tell us, it all happened at the hands of persons unknown. I wish I could let go of the rage on, but I can't. I can never go back to being the carefree boy I once was. I can't forget that night. Everything going dark.
The universe isn't dark enough to snuff out the light of a single candle. In all the darkness and the gloom, I light a candle. Inside me, that is. I think of a candle flickering inside my mind. It makes me have hope. You should try it, Emmett. Light a candle, just one. Close your eyes and light it.
Not yet. Maybe one day.
Just try it. What are you thinking about when you light the candle?
About my last birthday. I remember blowing out 14 candles on my birthday cake. I made a wish. Actually, two. I wish that one day I'd become a professional comedian.
And the other wish?
Oh, and if I couldn't make people laugh, then I wanted to be a motorcycle policeman. Be a peacemaker.
I wanted so much to have a sweet 16 birthday party. My family and friends there celebrating. I would light all the candles and then blow them all out.
What would you have wished for?
I would have wished to become a great writer, a poet, and a playwright. Or maybe even a movie star. I think most of all, what I wanted was to change the world, make it a better place.
I would have done something big. I would have been somebody important. Maybe like Dr. King, March for Justice. That's what I would have wanted. Justice for Black people.
I devoted the rest of my life to keeping the memory of you alive, to give your death a meaning, to inspire people to change things. You changed the course of American history, Emmett.
And I did the same for you. Of the 8 of us that were sent off to the concentration camps, I was the only one to survive. When I discovered that the pages of your diary hadn't been destroyed, I had them published. I wanted everyone to see the truth.
Emet. Emet is the Hebrew word for truth.
Truth. How cool is that? And what does on mean?
In Hebrew, it means favored grace.
So you're grace and I'm truth. On the lights.
Tikkun olam.
More Hebrew?
It's from the Talmud. It means a moral obligation to repair the world.
Repair the world.
Emet, do you still want to leave?
I want to stay, Anne. I want to be remembered forever.
Tell people to stop the hate.
If not, we'll be having the same conversation over
And over
and over
and over.